On this Bizarre Foods,
A little bit scared, maybe a lot scared.
surviving in the wilderness. My only shelter is what I can make.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
My only food is what I can find.
There's an ant in there.
I'm used to eating things most people wouldn't touch.
These are good. All that roe and those guts cook up.
But out here, I'm up against the unknown, the unexpected, and my own limitations. I'm Andrew Zimmern, and this is the Wilderness Survival Edition of Bizarre Foods. I'm being marooned in dense jungle. No food, no water, almost no supplies. The mission is survive. This all began 2 days earlier when I arrived in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. Take a 1-hour boat journey across the bay and you're in the wilderness. No roads, no villages, nothing but mountains and jungle for miles. And that's where I'll have to survive for 2 days and 2 nights, in whatever shelter I can make, eating whatever food I can find.
You know, they say it's survival of the fittest, but if that's the case, they're gonna have to send a rescue boat for me about 25 minutes after they drop me off. I'm 47 years old, I'm bald, I don't work out, and my diet, well, let's just say there really isn't one.
Before I hit the beach, I've got about 36 hours to learn all I can from this man. Mike Hawk, Captain, U.S. Army Special Forces, 20 years service. Trained in field medicine, communications, intelligence, 14 years experience teaching wilderness survival.
These survival guys, they don't like TV dudes like me, especially soft TV dudes like me. But I'm mentally tough. Mentally tough. Hey, man.
Andrew.
What's up?
Oh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, too. My ride awaits. Let's go.
The plan of action is going to be tomorrow we're going to conduct a field training exercise where you're going to go out and you're going to apply what you've learned tonight, but with my direct supervision.
Right.
Then the next day you're going to go into your mission, which is to survive.
Sure.
And find food.
I'm excited. I'm really excited about this. I think I have a healthy amount of fear.
Right. And it's a good thing. You gotta You gotta respect Mother Nature.
Yeah.
Because she can hurt you.
Right.
But you also got to be willing to go out there and say, you are the baddest thing in the land, and you're going to kill things and you're going to eat them.
Step 1 toward becoming the baddest thing in the land, 4 days worth of instruction, crammed into 4 hours.
Fire making. You've got to look at everything. All right, this is going to be your area. That would be worth setting a snare.
And there is one prime directive.
Never quit. You get out there and you're trying to catch some game and it gets away, you got to keep on going. You build your fire and it starts pouring down rain on you, you got to keep on going. You got your shelter set up and wind comes and blows it away, you got to keep on going. No matter what, never quit, first and foremost.
By evening's end, my brain is stuffed full of tips, facts, and advice, but it still feels like we've barely scratched the surface. Step 2 begins the next morning, ridiculously early after a rugged ride into the mountains outside of Puerto Vallarta. This is land owned by Vallarta Adventures, a local travel company that hires Hawk to run survival training classes for their clients. They provide the land, the transportation, and a squad of assistants to haul extra gear and help out.
All right, here's what we're getting ready to do.
All righty.
Pablo's going to handle loading up the burros with all the kit. You and I are going to march off to the training area.
Okay.
And we'll start phase 2. Hands on.
By the end of today, I need to know how to make a shelter, make fire, and build my own tools for hunting and cooking. Along the way, I can practice a little wilderness food shopping.
There's a little teeny critter. Not even hardly worth the trouble. Being observant. Okay. Well, you want to eat them?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Leftovers.
Well, just that little tail is just, got a little thread, It's not that.
Chews up fine, though.
Yeah. He was actually very sweet.
Nice.
And very tender. Small ones. Doesn't have a large stomach with lots of,
extra
half-digested matter.
There you go.
There you go.
Little larvae.
Look at that, yeah.
Hello, fella. Thank you.
Yeah, and you'll find all kinds of stuff in dead trees like this, won't you?
Yeah, so all these dead plants are worth digging around in. Here's another one for you. These are actually real sweet. It's kind of a nice little breakfast treat.
See here, there's little cocoon. You can literally just separate that.
There you go. Forging begins.
That'll get us going for another 100 yards.
Hawk never stops watching for potential food sources. He's spotted these fronds that he calls tree celery.
Oh, we got water.
Rinse that off. But yeah, you see how that is all nice and white and tender. Let's go rinse this off.
That's delicious.
Yeah, it really is. I'll taste it. See, now you get into the fibrous part, so that's where you stop. Now taste these inner shoots that are really, really tender. It just melts in your mouth.
Now, don't take this the wrong way, but this is less celery and much more artichoke.
Okay.
Just for the future.
You're the food expert. I'll roll with it.
It's amazing.
Right. Well, you can't go around saying, "Oh, that's tree artichoke." It just doesn't.
Sounds
rhyme.
a little.
Yeah.
Sounds a little.
Tree celery sounds good.
A little more macho.
Yeah.
This the place?
Yep. This is the training site.
The first priority is make a shelter.
Because the sleep is imperative. If you're well rested, you'll make good decisions. You'll save your health. You'll save your energy.
And here's how you make a Spec Ops approved lean-to. First, 2 long, tall sticks.
Yep.
Like I said, remember, you want it to be so that when you're sitting down,
Yep.
or kneeling, or whatever you want to do, like you're
Yeah.
getting dressed, that it would be high enough for you to still have a little
Sure.
bit of headspace, and go back far enough so that when it's time for you to sleep, you can kind of snuggle up in the back, and it'll be real close to your shoulder. Keep all that little body heat coming off and keep you nice and warm.
Second, a third stick tied between them. Third, more long, tall sticks to lay against the crossbeam. And not just any old sticks.
You're going to want the overhang to come at least 6 inches past where your fire is going to be.
Right.
So that way, no matter what happens with the rain, it's not going to put your fire out in the middle of the night.
Branches and palm fronds make the roof. Leafy boughs make the bed.
That's not bad. I like this.
But it took 4 guys working on familiar ground an hour to build it. By this time tomorrow, I'll be trying to do this alone, in a place I've never seen. And under the rules of this survival exercise, I'll be allowed my machete, a knife, 50 feet of extra strong and durable paracord, 1 change of clothes, iodine drops to purify water, a headlamp, a couple of fish hooks, that's a luxury, and 1 magnesium bar. That's what I need to use for making a fire.
You're going to shave the mag bar into here.
A mag bar is just soft magnesium with a strip of flint down the side. Scrape off some magnesium shavings, highly flammable.
Yeah, you might actually try scraping it.
Then strike the
Gotta get
flint
right
to make a
down there.
shower of
Right,
sparks that will ignite the shavings and start the tinder burning. Any second now. Maybe this isn't for beginners.
I'm just not getting enough, Damn. All right.
I gotta hand it to Mike. When he says he never gives up, he walks the talk.
Aye. All right, Will.
Break out the Zippo.
Negative. Okay. There we go, there you go. Now build it, there you go. That's it, that's it. That's the way. Nice and gentle. That's it. That's it. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I think we lost it, dude. I think we lost it. We'll do it again, though. We'll do it again. It's just refining the technique, working with the materials. Okay. Never mind. We'll get there. Come on.
God, I love you. That's awesome. We're refining the technique. We're working with the materials. This is creative problem solving.
There you go. Place the bird nest. There you go. Now, good, good, good. There we go. One at a time. Just that damn easy. That's all it ever should be. Good God. What was that nightmare we just went through?
Can't wait until I can try this all by myself. Tomorrow.
Okay, so we got the fire. We're got the shelter, we got the bed. Next thing we got to do is we got to get busy making you some tools for cooking.
Coconut eating bowl, bamboo cooking pot, bamboo spoon, sharpened stick. I get to bring these with me tomorrow morning. The shelter, the fire, the food, I either make myself or go without.
First thing in the morning, 0600, we're going to link up at the lobby of the hotel, and we're going to deploy to the field.
Fantastic.
All right? Boom.
Up next, cast away and face to face with the real wilderness.
This better work.
With way too much to do and way too little to eat.
Haven't had lunch. Sorry, buddy. Wednesday morning, 6:30 a.m., a little bit scared, maybe a lot scared. Strip away all my stuff and tell me I have to sit with my own thoughts and my own inadequacies on a desert island for 2 days, and it's a little scary.
Good morning, sunshine.
Sir?
You ready to go hot?
Yeah, I am. I mean, look, it's gonna happen, so yeah, I'm ready. What's
All right.
gonna be is gonna be.
And let's load up and go.
I said my prayers.
Good. I'm going to need them.
That was not the answer that I wanted to hear. Not the answer I wanted to hear.
The town of Puerto Vallarta is soon left far behind, along with every trace of civilization. An hour's journey across this strip of ocean is a deserted wilderness. A boat is the only way in, and the only way out if something goes wrong.
Last night I was really depressed about my physical, mental, and emotional limitations, but I figured that's what this is about, is increasing those boundaries. So I'm psyched at least to know that I can go out and survive for a couple days.
Tell me that when you're done.
Thank you.
Finally, I get my first look at my new wilderness home. I'll be going ashore at the base of a mountain range. The good news is there are some freshwater streams, but it would be a hike over more than 20 miles of mountain to find the nearest road, and farther still to the nearest village.
All right.
Here's your ruck.
Thank you, sir.
Here's your blade. Remember your training.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you. I
See you
appreciate
on the
it.
far side, and I'll always be watching.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Good luck.
I'll try to make you proud.
So Hawk will be around, though I won't know where. If I get into real trouble, a broken bone, a poisonous snake bite, he'll be close enough to respond.
Very nice.
Okay. There.
Thanks a lot. I so badly wanted to start this trip dry. So badly.
The mind game starts almost immediately. There's so much to do, no one to help you do it. Of course, I'm not alone. I'm surrounded by cameras watching my every move, but from this moment on, the crew is under strict orders. No one offers assistance, extra tools, or snacks for 2 days and 2 nights.
This is almost too scary. I know what the first thing is I need to do, which is build shelter, but if I start doing that, it's going to become immediately obvious how much I don't know.
In a real survival situation, I can see how that kind of thinking would defeat you before you begin. But I found a spot near a stream that's sheltered on 3 sides from the wind. Now, I just have to turn it into a home.
Saddle up with my new machete. This should be an interesting day. All right. 2 big, tall, straight sticks.
I need those sticks to become the frame of my new home. Not only tall and straight, but green. Dead wood won't be strong enough. Dead wood can't hold the weight of the heavy palm fronds I'll use for my roof.
As you're walking around, you've got to look at everything, take in everything. What can you use it for? What can it do for you? How can you exploit it?
Before yesterday, I'd have just called this a bird's nest. But now,
Tinder. I'm feeling better about starting a fire tonight.
but before fire, there's shelter.
That's never gonna work.
It's tempting to just grab something and move on, but then your shelter collapses on you in the middle of the night.
This better work after all of this. This better work.
This is hard work for a guy with my physique, and I don't have a watch, but my stomach is telling me it's been a long time since breakfast.
Well, there, I think, is stick number one.
If you can't find the stick you need, you have to make it yourself.
I think this is number two.
It's got good materials, so that helps it go a lot faster. Those palm fronds will work very, very well for making a good shelter. Give them a couple hours to do some hunting, maybe a little fishing right here, and still have time to build a good fire and make some good chow before he settles in for the night. So he's doing okay. We just hope he's staying hydrated enough.
Even in a fast-moving freshwater stream, you never know what kind of microorganisms are living in the water. And that's why you're supposed to boil it before drinking. But if you're lucky, your survival instructor issues you some iodine drops.
Iodine tastes gross, but clean water at whatever price.
Nice of Hawk to maroon me close to a freshwater stream, but it's already been a long day without food and I'm feeling it.
Look at this. Termites all over the place. There's an ant in there. I'd have to eat a lot of these. I'm hoping to maybe find some big larvae in here. Maybe some big spiders or scorpions or something to eat.
I'm remembering another Hawk rule. Don't put a lot of time and energy into a food source that's never going to fill you up.
And there's a couple little creepy crawlies in there, but I'd have to do a lot of picking. Too much picking through for too little stuff there. I wanted a big weevil or something, but no go. Woo. These banana leaves are gonna be great as a layer for my roof. Oh my gosh. Those smell good. I'm so hungry. I actually have to resist the temptation to just start eating them because they'll just make my stomach upset.
But where there's banana leaves, there must be bananas.
Well, let's see if I can get this down. Yes. Well, at least I'll have some bananas tonight for dinner. Let's see what kind these are. Oh, yeah. Those are like plantains almost. Already I have the desperation of a drowning man. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, yeah, Those bums. I found bananas. I'm the smartest guy in this godforsaken island. These are so bitter and so tannic, you can't eat them raw. I couldn't get it past one chew. I'm hoping that I can cook these. And we'll find out later. But what this is telling me is I don't want to invest too much time only to find out that they're just as bad cooked.
So it's getting late. My shelter's unfinished. I still have to make a fire, and I can't find anything to eat.
Son of a bitch.
Up next, an unexpected lifesaver in the surf.
I didn't think I brought anything to this party, but it turns out I've learned a lot making this show over the last couple years.
And then a race against time. Which will come first, the fire or the dark? Cast away on a deserted beach, building a home out of sticks and branches, using nothing but a machete.
Well, this may look like I'm having some measure of success, but let's be honest. If any bad weather comes up, I mean even 1 minute of bad weather, I am royally and verily hosed.
I've got to survive out here without resources or help for 48 hours. I'm well into day one and haven't eaten since before dawn when I got on the boat that brought me here. At least it's a small stroke of luck finding this guy in the foliage.
Haven't had lunch. Sorry, buddy. Get rid of those wings. Hold the two big legs because they have little barbs on them that can be really, really nasty. Oh. Good thing about a big green grasshopper, they taste like their food. And that guy has been dining on sweet, sweet plants because he's sugary. And grasshoppers and crickets actually have great consistency because they're kind of crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside.
It wasn't much of a snack, but for now, that'll have to do.
I am really second-guessing my judgment because I had one of those moments back in the hotel this morning where I was like, you know, I'm just going to throw a couple power bars in the bag. No one will be the wiser. And I didn't. And I'm paying a price now for being a little too honest and forthright. Because I would eat one if I had it. And I would let you know, too. Oh, man.
Even though I haven't got a watch, the shadows are telling me the afternoon is passing, and this shelter has to be done, and my fire needs to be burning before nightfall brings cold air, bugs, and darkness.
I'm thinking this might work. This might work.
Good little situation going there. Nice hooch, good roof, good frame. I think he's going to find it a little bit chilly at night, though. He's made it too big. And outside of that, he's making good time.
I should start making a fire, but right now, all I can think about is food. Thank God there's a few fallen coconuts here on the beach.
Yeah.
My crash course in survival taught me about catching fish, identifying plants,
Starts to get a little bit fibrous.
and setting snares.
Snatch him up.
But it all takes time and patience. But how do you stay patient when you're desperately hungry? I could use a little miracle about now. And I found it. All over these rocks.
I didn't think I brought anything to this party, but it turns out I've learned a lot making this show over the last couple years. My buddies in Molokai, right on, Hanu. Opihi. And I knew where to look.
On the island of Molokai in Hawaii, Hano took me out opihi hunting. These are tiny little shellfish, limpets, that live right where the waves crash against the rocks. That can make them tricky, even dangerous to get.
These are so sweet. They taste like Little clams on the half shell. The little animal just, it's like a teeny little abalone, just adheres itself to the rock.
From a starving man to a kid in a candy store in one brief, shining moment.
I feel like a seal. Oh.
Well, that's enough to keep me going for a while.
Well, like Hawk says, opportunity, opportunity.
But Hawk also says you need to get your fire going before dark. It'll get colder as the sun goes down. The bugs will get aggressive, and I flunked fire making during training. I should get right to it.
I've gathered enough wood, I think, to start my fire. I'm gonna take another risk, make a choice, rinse out the salt from these, and switch in to my alternate pair of clothes that Hawk let me keep. And that way, maybe we'll get these dry by the time I go to sleep tonight.
So far, Andrew's doing a very good job. He's got a beautiful hooch. I think he took a little extra time with the clothes washing, but the hygiene's important, and being comfortable is important as well. So as long as he's eating, he's okay, and if he can get that fire, even if he doesn't get any more food for the rest of the night, he'll be okay till tomorrow. So on the whole, I give him, if this were a restaurant, I'd give him 3.5 stars out of 5.
Coming up, man versus Flint. And later, night hunting. It's not for amateurs.
Son of a bitch.
The sun's going down on my first day of surviving on my own in the wilderness. I built my shelter. I found some food, but now it's time to tackle what may be the toughest job of the day.
I better get a fire lit, because the flies are really starting to bother me, too. And they're coming out, they're everywhere.
This is a moment I've been dreading. During yesterday's training, it took Hawk an hour to get the first spark to catch. So I could be doing this until morning. And then suddenly, magically, oh yeah, who demand now?
Fire, doom, 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 doom.
Fire's lit. Now it's time to use my survival training to get some meat. The water in this little pool rises and falls with the tide, so I can make what my survival instructor called a tidal fish trap.
So what you want to do is you want to build rocks around it so that during the high tide, they're going to come in like they naturally would. If you make it right, so they kind of, come against the wall that you've made, so they just kind of sit there for you.
Oh my gosh. Good thing I used to be a waiter. There's a part of me that just wants it to get dark so I can just curl up and go to sleep. But I gotta make sure my clothes are dry. I gotta try and eat some more.
Those unripe plantains I found this afternoon that were too bitter even to chew might be edible roasted.
I had to give a shout out to the ladies in Uganda who taught me how to deal with plantains and bananas.
Here's a moment of truth.
Look at that. Nutty, a little bit of barnyard. It's like eating a pretzel on 5th Avenue. Got that same, chestnuts and pretzel burning over an open fire smell.
So I've got fire, shelter, and a little food in my stomach. Time for the next challenge. Coming up, proving my hunting prowess. And later, finding a little bit of paradise But what I'm really looking for is a good meal.
Nice thing about being me, I can always just eat my bait.
Nightfall. Dateline, middle of nowhere, Mexico, on a deserted strip of beach. As night falls, the next step in my wilderness survival exercise is a hunting expedition. Part of my survival training was how to use thorns and twine to create a fishing spear.
What do you think of that? It's not too shabby, huh? Maybe I'll get one, but at this point, one good one would make me very happy.
And here's my hunting ground. During the day, I caught glimpses of crayfish in this pond. By night, if you shine a light on them, it freezes them. And I've got lights following my every step. Relying on primitive instincts from eons ago, I stalk my prey, close in, raise my spear, and...
Well, that was not good. That rock is really slippery. Son of a bitch.
That was my big chance, and I blew it. From that point on, I can't get close enough to even make a stab at spearing a crayfish.
Those crayfish are really, really fast. Who knew they were so fast?
Time to hang it up and get ready for bed. Stocking up with wood so I can keep my fire going all night long. The pants and long sleeve shirt are dry, adding some extra warmth. I've made it to the halfway point.
I'm a little scared of everything that has to go on tomorrow. But whether I like it or not, the sun's gonna come up, and I do have the waves to crash me to sleep. So, we'll see how it goes.
Once my crew sacked out, it was just me and one infrared camera. You don't get much sleep waking up every 45 minutes or so to keep the fire going.
I'll tell you, it is a little creepy being out here all alone, though. Pretty amazing. I'm very much looking forward to going back to civilization, though, I can tell you that. Anyway, have a good rest of the night, everyone.
By morning, I was exhausted.
I'm flabbergasted. He's still sleeping. I mean, this is a Holiday Inn or something. He needs to be up and hunting. His fire's gone out. The critters have all got food and water. They're going back to bed. His fishing wall is the sorriest excuse for a fish trap I've ever seen. I think he might be going hungry for breakfast.
Waking up on an empty stomach, wearing clothes that have been soaked through by sweat and seawater, with every muscle aching.
I kept wanting to call downstairs, see if they could send the pillow cart up to the room, but for some reason the phone wasn't working.
Seen in the light of new day, my fish trap is too low and too tumbled down to trap anything. At least I've still got a little coconut left over from yesterday.
Breakfast. Most important meal of the day.
This won't hold me for very long. I'm getting desperate for real food, so that means into the jungle. I'm sticking to the river, hoping to find a fishing spot since my fish dam was a failure, and my survival trainer says it's my signpost home.
All you gotta do if you get lost is simply drop down to the river and then follow the flow of the water out to your base camp.
Follow the river, follow the river, follow the river.
On the whole, he's doing a good job. The only thing I ding him on is, I don't know what his little chef brain was thinking when he broke camp without bringing his canteen.
What's the most important thing when you're trying to survive out in the wilderness? The most important thing, more than anything else, water. And who left their canteen back at the camp? This guy.
My canteen has water from this stream that I purified with iodine drops. People always ask, how come you never get sick when you're traveling? And one answer is, I never, ever, ever drink untreated water. So I keep going and keep remembering Hawk's advice.
You've got to look at everything. What can you use it for?
Check this out. I forget what the name of those little things are, but I remember them from my class. I'm pretty sure these are those little palms that Hawk was saying you break open, and they're citrusy inside. Oh. A little bit bitter. Not the greatest water source in the whole world, but if you found one of these, it'd keep you alive for a day or two, maybe 3. I mean, there's about a tablespoon of water inside each one.
If I had to, I could survive on this, at least until I get back to my canteen. When I finally make it over the rocks, the view alone is worth all the hassle.
That's beautiful. Not as beautiful as a big, fat, juicy cheeseburger, but it's a close second.
Thank God Hawk let me include a couple of fish hooks in my survival kit. I just need to scrounge up a worm or two.
Nice thing about being me, I can always just eat my bait.
But I'm hoping for a much bigger meal, so the worm goes in the water. And I wait. And wait. And wait.
I had a nibble.
And keep on trying.
Bobber. Hook and worm. Changed my pole. Let's see if that works.
Nothing worked.
Some days, it's not about catching fish. Some days, it's just about a mental health break. Oh.
Refreshing, but it's not doing a thing to put food in my stomach.
Whoa!
Coming up.
Doesn't that look prehistoric?
It may not be pretty, but tonight, it's what's for dinner. Heading back to camp, with nothing to show for a whole day's effort except a few wild limes I found along the path. The shadows are telling me I'm well into the afternoon. I put all my energy into a fishing expedition, and I came up empty. But in survival mode, good things come in surprise packages.
Most cactus are edible. Clean that up a little bit. Stew it in a little water or pickle it in a little bit of the lime and lemon juice. That's gonna be nice. Onward and upward.
And right in the middle of the path, a nice patch of pigweed. The formal name is purslane. We call it a weed in the US, but the rest of the world calls it a leaf vegetable.
This is good food.
This tastes salty and sour.
Oh. So you just keep your eyes open for long enough, find all kinds of good stuff. Oh.
I'm finding that things don't intimidate me like they did on my first day. I'm learning I can do quite a lot with very little. Like these shellfish, a different variety, bigger than the limpets I found yesterday when I searched along the beach. They're a kind of mollusk, and they're called chitons.
Doesn't that look prehistoric?
I'm impressed because actually, the guy's got a lot of skills. He's got a lot of knowledge. He's been around. He's seen a lot of things. So, as far as I'm concerned, he kind of came to the table already bringing a lot with him. So now he's just putting it into practice.
As the afternoon winds down on my second day in the wilderness, I'm surprisingly at home. Excuse me while I slip out of these wet clothes into something a little more comfortable and start my dinner cooking.
irony of this meal may be lost on some of you, but believe me, it's ironic that these precious little shellfish and this wild cress with wild limes is something that you could legitimately see as a few courses in a very fancy seafood restaurant. You'd pay a fortune for it. Cactus tastes like pea shoots. The jelly that's inside them almost acts like a fat in a salad dressing, sort of like the olive oil. Oh my gosh. These are good. All that roe and those guts cook up. It's a nice little treat.
There's one more night to go, but I already know I can make it through a night around here. I didn't know that before I started. Just like I didn't know how to make a shelter or build a fire.
Never lit a fire before in my life. I don't have the patience to do some of the stuff Hawk does. That's the bottom line. I'm like, you know, poster child for ADD. I can't do this. Well, I shouldn't say that. I'm 10% suitable because I'll eat anything. I think there are people who would have problems eating a salad of cactus and wild ferns and steaming some godforsaken little creature that you scrape off the side of a rock. But to me, I thought that was fantastic. I mean, dinner tonight was completely satisfying.
I'm turning in for my second night with an answer to the question I started out with. Without my civilized support systems, I'm a very unhappy camper, but I can survive. Hawk promised me that when my 48 hours were up, he'd personally deliver breakfast. And boy, does he deliver.
Hola, good morning.
This is what I found for grub. Alicia.
I brought you a banana bread.
Hey.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
All right.
God, heaven sent an
Thank you.
angel.
Thank you.
I'm so over you right now. I'm waiting to her. Look at this.
I see how you do. I see how you do.
This is you. Negative. This is her. Here you go. Unbelievable.
The food shortage is officially over. Alicia Rodriguez, who runs a floating restaurant across the bay in Puerto Vallarta, is a genius with chicken, salsa, cilantro, onions, and goat cheese. I'm home from the wilderness.
Isn't that a textural symphony?
Oh, I don't know about no textural symphony, but it tastes good. Well, I gotta say, you've done an outstanding job. You really, truly have. Can't hunt worth a dang.
No.
But everything else?
Oh, that's fantastic, man. Thank you. I got an idea. You took me on this trip. I'll take you on one of my trips. I could use you in a couple places. The deal?
I'll have to think about it. That's kind of scary.
Wow!